Hello everyone, I'm Aratrika Bhaumik and I welcome you all to another episode of Courts Today on Live Law, where we update you about all the important legal developments that took place across the country today. We will begin with developments from the Supreme Court of India and then move on to High Courts and other subordinate courts. If you like our content, then it would mean a lot to us if you could please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's begin. A constitution bench of the Supreme Court of India has commenced with the hearing of Centre's curative petition filed in 2010 seeking additional compensation for Bhopal gas tragedy victims from US-based corporation Union Carbide, now owned by Dow Chemicals. During the course of the hearing, the Supreme Court raised queries regarding the scope of the curative petition that was filed almost 19 years after the judgment was pronounced in this matter. The judges of the Apex Court were concerned if the settlement arrived between the delinquent corporation and the Government of India can be reopened on the basis of fresh documents, that too after such an inordinate delay. The Supreme Court of India has commenced hearing on the dispute between the Delhi government and the Union government regarding control of administrative services in the National Capital Territory of Delhi. The five-judge bench of Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, Justices M.R. Shah, Krishna Murari, Hima Kohli and P.S. Narasimha heard Senior Advocate Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi for the government of NCT of Delhi. Last year, a three-judge bench had referred this particular matter to the Constitution Bench. The Supreme Court has listed on January 16th tech giant Google's plea challenging the order of the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal, that is NCLAT, which declined to stay the Competition Commission of India's decision to impose Rs 1,338 crore penalty on it for unfair and anti-competitive practices in relation to Android phones. On January 6th, NCLAT refused to stay CCI's order and directed Google to deposit 10% of the penalty amount within a period of 3 weeks. The matter was mentioned by Senior Advocate A.M. Singhvi before a bench comprising Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud and Justice P.S. Narasimha. The trial court in Uttar Pradesh handling the Lakhimpur Kheri case relating to the killing of farmers in October 2021 reported to the Supreme Court that it will take at least 5 years to complete the trial. In December last year, the Supreme Court of India had sought for a report from the trial court while considering the bail application of accused Ashish Mishra, son of Union Minister Ajay Mishra. Ashish Mishra is facing murder charges for allegedly killing persons in the Lakhimpur Kheri violence of October 2021 after his vehicle allegedly ran over farmers who were protesting against farm laws. The Supreme Court bench comprising Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud and Justice P.S. Narasimha has dismissed the central government's appeal which had sought to seize arbitration proceedings initiated by Reliance Industries, BP Exploration and Nico Resources against the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. The arbitration proceedings were initiated over a $400 million cost recovery dispute involving natural gas exploration in the KG D6 block. A public interest litigation petition has been filed in the Supreme Court challenging caste-based census in Bihar. Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud agreed to list the petition next Friday after the matter was mentioned before him for urgent posting. Let the case come up next Friday, the CJI said verbatim. The petition filed by Nalanda resident Akhilesh Kumar seeks to quash the state government's notification on the ground that the subject of the census falls in List 1 of the 7th schedule of the Constitution and only the Union has the power to hold census. Public posturing from judicial platforms is not good, said Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar in a fresh criticism against the judiciary, ignoring the disapproval expressed by the Supreme Court of his earlier public comments on the collegium system. Dhankar said that he was surprised when the Supreme Court judges told the Attorney General to convey its displeasure to constitutional authorities. He was referring to the hearing in the case relating to the judge's appointment which took place on December 8th last year, when the Supreme Court, after taking exception to certain comments about the collegium system, had asked the Attorney General to advise government functionaries to exercise control. The Karnataka High Court today directed Isha Yoga Center to maintain status quo on the construction activity being carried out by it near Nandi Hills in Chikkaballapura. A division bench of Chief Justice Prasanna B. Varale and Justice Ashok S. Kinagi gave the direction while hearing a public interest litigation petition filed by native agriculturalists and permanent residents of Chikkaballapura. The petitioners have alleged that the authorities have allowed the Isha Yoga Center to destroy and deface the entire ecosystem and the natural rainwater streams, water bodies, etc. in utter violation of existing environmental laws. The Delhi High Court has reserved its decision on the petition moved by real estate baron Sushil Ansal seeking an ad interim stay on the release of upcoming Netflix series Trial by Fire, which is based on the Uphaar fire tragedy. The series is scheduled to be released on January 13th. Justice Yashwant Verma reserved the order on Ansal's application seeking relief of temporary injunction filed in the suit, which seeks permanent and mandatory injunction against the series and a restraint of further publication and circulation of the book titled Trial by Fire, the tragic tale of the Uphaar tragedy. The Bombay High Court today quashed the Maharashtra Food and Drug Administration's orders cancelling Johnson & Johnson's license to manufacture its baby powder. Johnson & Johnson will now be able to manufacture and sell its baby powder. A division bench of the High Court said that FDA's action was unreasonably delayed and therefore arbitrary. The Andhra Pradesh High Court, while setting aside a trial court order rejecting a husband's plaint for declaration of a divorce decree upon pronouncement of triple talaq, has ruled that the operation of the Supreme Court's 2017 verdict in Shaira Bano v. Union of India and others on triple talaq is retrospective in nature. The High Court was hearing a civil revision petition filed by the petitioner wife against the order of the concerned principal junior civil judge, dismissing her application for rejection of the respondent husband's plaint for obtaining a divorce decree, which was moved by him after pronouncing triple talaq. Advocate General of Maharashtra, Dr. Birendra Saraf, has given his consent to initiate contempt of court proceedings against ex-Army Major N.R. Ajwani. In the aforesaid circumstances, I grant my consent under Section 15(1)(b) of the Contempt of Courts Act 1971 for initiation of criminal contempt proceedings against Shri N.R. Ajwani for making the aforesaid statements in his book The False Spy. Saraf said verbatim in his letter granting consent. The consent was given on the request made by Advocate Ravi Goenka, who has alleged that statements have been made in the book against the Supreme Court judges who had heard Ajwani's case. Thank you. Keep watching Courts Today on Live Law for more such updates. See you tomorrow.